Welcome to day 23 of the Python Programming Challenge. We're more than 3 weeks in, and I'm super excited. Day 23, and today I will be talking about Lambda Functions. Have you heard about Lambda Functions? Do you know how to use it? Do you know the limitations of Lambda Functions? If that is something you're interested in, to the screen. I cannot believe it is day 23 already. 23 days. We have 77 days left to go. That's so many days, but it's day 23. And this is Lambda function in Python. You're wondering, what is Lambda function? These are known as anonymous functions, and they're a feature in Python that allows you to create small one-off function without needing to name them. And they are useful for situations where you just need a short function for a period of time and you don't want to define it by using div. So this is the basic syntax. You have your lambda argument, and then you have this punctuation mark, and then you have the expression. So let me show you what, for example, a regular function will look like, and then we'll then create its lambda function. So this is what we would have if we have like a regular function that we want to multiply between two numbers, x and y. So we define by using the def multiply x, y, and then we want to return x multiplied by y, and then we'll print calling our function 4 and 5. And then when we run this, we'll have 20. So what if we want to do this, but by using lambda function? So then want to create one function that adds. So we would have add equals to lambda, and then we'll have to define our variable, our parameters, argument and parameters that the function takes in. So we have x and y here. So this is what the function takes in. So then we now have to define that in the lambda function. That will be x and y. And then what do we now want to do to the x and y? So then we want to add both x and y. So this is our lambda function. We have lambda, we have x and y, which is our argument, the parameters is taken, and then we have our expression that the function evaluates and returns, and then when I want to print out the result. So print add, and then the numbers that we want to add, 5 and 3, and then when we run this we get 8. I can also do multiply because it was multiply we did earlier, and then change it to multiply, and then when we run this we get 15. So this is a simple example of a lambda function that adds numbers. We have our word lambda. You always have to put lambda, and then you have to put your argument, and then you have to put your expression. And in this example, lambda x and y defines a lambda function with parameters x and y, and x plus y is the expression that calculates the sum. And then when you call add 5 and 3, it returns 8. As simple as this is, there are also limitations because they are only limited to a single expression. You cannot contain multiple statements because even in a regular function you can have like multiple statements. Multiple things can be done in a regular function, but in a lambda function it is just limited to a really simple single expression. So for example, let me show you this. That you want to add 1 and you also want to like multiply x by 3. This will return an error because it's now going more than a single expression. So overusing lambda function and using them in complex scenarios will make your code less readable. So you should only use lambda functions when you have like single expressions. You just want to do one-off codes, because if you have lambda functions everywhere, it can get complicated and to make your code less readable. So while lambda functions are concise, they are not substitute for regular functions where more complexity is involved. So see, example of another simple lambda function like we did earlier. So we want to multiply it, and then when we run this, we get our output. So you see, if we define x and y, and then we multiply it together to get our x and y. And then for the regular function example, we have this where we'll multiply between 4 and 5. We define the function, we'll return it, and then we call the function. So this is the difference between a lambda function example and a regular function. So these are practice questions that you can try using basic lambda function. Remember that lambda functions are anonymous. Use them to create small one-off functions without needing to name them. And they're useful in situations where you just need a short function for a short period of time and you don't want to use a regular function. Thank you so much for watching that video. I hope you were able to learn something from it. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And don't forget to also try the practice questions that are in the Jupyter notebook and put your solutions in the comment section. Let's build a community together. As always, the link to that notebook is in the description below. And I'll see you tomorrow.